Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to come on here and chat with you about something that has really been on my mind lately and something that I became aware of that a lot of you may also be struggling with. And I think that sharing my experience with this and the ways that I'm trying to tackle it may help some of you out there. Maybe not, but I can at least put it out there. And it also does me a little bit of good too, because talking about it makes it easier to handle on my end of things too. So what I'm talking about is handling criticism. It was even hard for me to say. Did you see that? I was like, I have never, I say never, since I can remember, I've never been able to handle criticism well. Oh my gosh, I have such trouble saying that. And that could mean anything from with my husband. If my husband says something that is criticizing, which sounds really bad because he doesn't like come home and criticize me for my looks or for the way I do things necessarily, but there are times where we disagree and I may classify that as criticism. Or it may be in my line of work, it may be within my extended family, it could be with anything. I do not handle criticism well, and it's something I've struggled with for a long time. I've actually been able to vocalize that and acknowledge that, and I've taken some steps to try to conquer that because I had realized that although I was pretty much aware that I couldn't handle criticism, I didn't want to work on it. But as I get older and as I go through life, there are more areas that are open for criticism, of course, because nobody's perfect, right? And I realized how bad I would make myself feel when somebody criticized something I did and how it just overpowered me and really controlled my day or days or weeks or however long it was. And I became so aware of it that I realized I don't want to feel that way anymore. And it could be even something where I ask for criticism. So say if I did a Facebook post right now and I said, can you all take a look at fantabulosity.com and tell me an area that you could see improvement? I would get all the responses in and I would secretly cross my fingers and pray that every single one of you said, Jessica, it looks great. I don't see anything wrong. I mean, right? Who wants to hear that their heart and soul, their baby per se, has something wrong with it? No, I'm not saying there aren't areas of the blog that could be that could not be improved. Absolutely. Or I'm not saying that somebody could walk into my home and say, that is an ugly decoration on there. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying there are no rooms for improvement. I'm saying that I cannot handle or could not handle hearing those words. So something I have done to try to overcome that and to move on and not let it consume me so much has been to actually listen to what the person is saying. So for instance, I will use my husband as an example. If he says something like, Jessica, I don't like the way you did that. I don't agree with that. Used to, I would take that, consume that in, get very frustrated. My face would get red. I'd get very defensive, and I would pretty much put on a full argument and try to convince him that I'm right. And I wouldn't give up until I heard an apology. That's not the right way to do that. Maybe it is the right way. I don't know. But it's not the right way for me to do that because what that was doing was damaging me inside and was consuming me and making me feel angry, and I didn't like that. So it was time to take an approach to improve the way I handle criticism. So how do I do it now? I don't know. I mean, I know the steps I'm going to try to take. Now, putting those into action may be a whole different story, but at least I'm becoming aware of the options that I do have to handle it. So, for instance, if my husband says, Jessica, I don't like the way you did that. Used to, when I would let it consume me, I want to just listen to why he didn't like the way I did that. That could have something to do with how he has felt about it, how he's experienced something in his life that made him not agree with something I did. Or, I'm not saying I'm right or not saying he's right or whatever it may be, but I'm just listening. And just the fact that he disagrees with what I did, or he's criticizing the way I did something, or if it's a friend that criticized the way, that could just be their thoughts and their feelings. That doesn't mean I'm a bad mom or a bad wife or a bad friend or a bad sister or a bad daughter, bad boss, bad whatever. Because what I would do is I would generalize any little bit of criticism into my whole being. I would completely shut everything off, and I would think to myself, oh my gosh, they criticized the way that blog post was. I'm a horrible blogger, or whatever it may be. And I would just let it define me as a whole. And I'm coming to realize that I just need to listen. And maybe that criticism isn't necessarily a reflection of something that I'm doing. That could be something that they're suffering with or something they're experiencing. But again, that doesn't mean that what I've done is wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person as a whole. It's just a matter of listening to the criticism and what I do with it. So if you find something or somebody criticizing you about something, whether it is requested criticism or whether it's not requested criticism, how you internalize that, how you handle that, how you react to that, and what you do with that information is completely up to you. And I really encourage you to, instead of letting it consume you, instead of letting it frustrate you, make you mad, make you feel defeated, demeaned, whatever that may be and whatever that may do to you, I really urge you to just sit and think about it for just a second about what that about what that means, and maybe why they're saying that, or that it may just be that aspect in your life that you maybe need some work on, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person or a bad mom or a bad friend or whatever it is. So I really encourage you, and I urge you to tackle this challenge with me that I'm experiencing in my real life right now in all areas, and I really hope that helps kind of give a message of how we all probably try to handle criticism on a daily basis to some degree. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have a great evening, and I really look forward to your comments on this. There's no more joy than seeing that somebody says, I needed to hear that today. So I really hope if at least there's just one person out there that needed to hear this today, because I'm right there with you. It's a major struggle I've always had that I've known of, and something that I really need to work on. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back and talk to you soon.